Good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time of the day you are popping into this webinar on. Today is all about brand creation, content creation. I know many of you are sometimes when you first get started are at a loss of how do I put it out there? How do I attract the right people? Many of you are just now beginning to play on LinkedIn and really lead with either your business or maybe you have a high-end coaching package that you want to attract people to, right? And so today is going to be all about how you really channel yourself and your avatar to then create the content that's going to attract the people into your life that you want manifested into your organization or into your business. So how do you develop content? We're going to go through three main buckets today that are going to help you begin brainstorming the content creation. And I think that once you get the flow of this, you're going to love it. And if you get out a notebook and you begin journaling this stuff, you're going to come up with a plethora of content, okay? Some of my best posts come from journaling, being in a peaceful, quiet place early in the morning with just my thoughts, okay? Or maybe a book that you're reading that really spurs that thought. So three key areas. Hope you guys love my fingernails. My daughter did them for me. Three key areas we're going to talk about today. Number one is, what is your story? Okay, we're going to walk through that. Number two is, who is your avatar? So who are you trying to attract? It's really important to get crystal clear on that before you begin putting content out. Number three, what do you represent? What do you represent? What is your personal brand? And when I say personal brand, I don't mean your product. I mean you. This module is all about creating the know and trust and like factor. We're going to create a know, like, and trust factor through your story, through understanding who your avatar is, and really understanding what you represent. When you do that and you start putting it out there to the world, your network begins to know and trust you so that on occasion, when you fold in something promotional about your business or product or service, they know and trust you and want to learn from you. And they don't feel like you've spammed them or you've sold them. Okay? Does that sound cool? All right, so that's what we're going to dive in today. So let's start with your story. Your story needs to be uber compelling. This is going to be the first part of our workshop this week. You need extreme clarity on why it is you're doing this in the first place. Why are you pursuing this business? Okay? What is it going to do for you? What excites you about this business? Where are you headed with it? And why are you excited about it? How does it make you feel? Okay, these are all very important things to think about. Now, you're going to see in your assignments for this week that you're going to download some worksheets. And the first one is going to be around your story. Your story needs to have a past, a present, and a future. You can write this down, but your worksheet's going to have all of this in there. It needs a past, a present, and a future, okay? So good storytelling starts with, what was life like before you entered into your business? This is really important, guys, because it's going to bring us to our next workshop in a second, which is your avatar. A lot of times your avatar is that person that you were 2 or 3 years ago. So it's really important to get really clear on your story about who you were before the opportunity, because a lot of times that's actually who you're going to be speaking to. You want someone to read your post and say, that is me. That was me. That is me. She's talking to me, right? Okay. Now, so in your workbook or in your print off that you have, I want you to think through, where were you? What was life like before you entered into your business or opportunity? Okay. Secondly, present tense. Okay. What are you excited about now? Why do you love what you're doing, right? This is emotional, right? This is This is good stuff. You want people to feel what you feel. You want them to be excited like you're excited. Your belief needs to be a 10. Guys, if your belief is a 2 and you make a post, I'm here to tell you that people sense the 2, okay? So that you've got to do your own inner work that's not what I'm here to coach on today. But if your belief in your business is not at a 10, it's going to translate into what you put out into the universe, including your media posts, okay? So if you don't feel like you're at a 10, you need to ask yourself why, okay? And you need to get yourself there. You need to reach out to your coaches. You need to reach out to your upline. Get yourself to a 10, okay? All right. Future. The future is where are you headed, okay? Where are you headed? Why are you excited about it, right? What is this opportunity going to do for you that it hasn't already? Many of you are fairly new into network marketing. Maybe you don't have a huge success story yet, but you're on your way, right? That should excite you. Are you on your way to paying off college loan debt? Are you on your way to paying off credit card debt? Are you on your way to paying for that dream vacation? What is it? Are you on your way to scaling back hours? Are you on your way to creating a massive nest egg for your plan B? What is it? What are you excited about? Okay. So that's your first exercise, is your story on a sheet of paper. Life before, life during, and what you're looking forward to. Why are you excited about this? I want extreme clarity, and I want it on paper. Okay. That's your first activity for the week. You have 2 more activities that are going to feed your content. So the second piece, and the thing is, when you're putting down where you were, your past, you want, when you begin to create some content and put it out there, you want your network to read it and be like, oh my gosh, that is me right now. If you're writing something about your present, you want your network to say, oh, that's where I want to be. When you put down your future, you want your network and your avatar to be like, ah, that's where I want to go. That's what I want to do. That's how I want to feel. Okay? Okay. Number 2, we're going to head into avatar work. Many of you have heard of this. Those of you that have not, the avatar is really that ideal person that you want to manifest into your life, into your business, either as a client or as a business partner. This is, who do you want to manifest? I've got a great exercise that I'm gonna have you work through as well, that you download and you're gonna fill out. But the key is, if you're kind of at a loss of this and you're not quite sure even where to get started, a great thing to do is, this is your free pass to do some mindless scrolling. Okay, but set a timer, 15 minutes max. I don't want you sucked into the dark hole. I want you to go through LinkedIn. I want you to go through Facebook, go through Instagram. I want you to scroll through your feed and ask yourself in the feed, who are the people you gravitate towards? Okay? Who do you gravitate towards? And then I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do I gravitate towards this person? Is it how they make me feel? Is it the value add, the content that they put out? Is it that they feel like I can relate to them, like their stories really relate to me and I feel like I know them, right? That know, like, and trust. That's a great place to start, and ask yourself, why is that? Like, why do I feel like I know, like, and trust them? Why do I gravitate towards them? Because they have clearly honed in on you as an avatar, right? Like that they're attracting you into their feed because you relate to it, okay? So here's an exercise for you to think about when you're filling out your avatar worksheet. So I've got them written down here because I don't want to miss anything. But the key is, you want to ask yourself first and foremost, are they male or female, right? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have kids? And this will become important a little bit later on. What are they struggling with? What's their struggle in life? Again, it helps if you go back to your previous self 2 or 3 years ago, before you were excited about the solution you have in hand, right? What's their occupation? Like, what do they do professionally? Okay. This is important, especially in LinkedIn, because when you first get started growing your business, it's a lot easier to hone in on a niche, on a specific kind of profession. So with me, I really honed in on pharmaceutical sales and pharmacist. Why is that? It's because my background is pharmaceutical sales and pharmacy, right? So when people look at my background, even though I'm a professional network marketer now, when they look at my references and my career background, I've got street credit with pharmacists and with sales reps because they know I've walked in their shoes. I can speak to their experience, right? And it comes out in a lot of my posts is my previous life, right? And then I cast a vision of future self, right? What do they think about when they wake up in the mornings? What are they stressed out about? What keeps them up at night when they're trying to sleep? Again, hone in on yourself. What do they not have enough what do they not have enough of? Is it time? Is it money? Is it freedom? Right? A couple of other things. What's their biggest fear? What are their top goals? And you guys don't have to write all of this down because it's actually going to be in your worksheet. How much money do they make each month? Right? Who are you trying to attract? Are you trying to attract someone who's already showing up in life and making money? Are you trying to attract someone who's broke and needs money? There's a lot of people who make a lot of money and they're still broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and they need us, right? They need us. I was one of those people. I had massive college loan debt, even though I had a huge income. I had massive college loan debt. We had a massive mortgage, and we had 2 children that we were trying to take care of when I first started my network marketing business. What do they want to change in their life? What's their struggle? What is their internal struggle? Guys, this is really important self-work that you need to dive deep into to understand who it is you're trying to attract, and really do that by looking at yourself 2 or 3 years ago, okay? Because your content is going to relate to those people. Don't try to attract everyone. You will get no one. I'm here to tell you, you will get no one when you try to appeal to everyone. But when you hone in and get real tight on who you're trying to attract, those people read your post and they are compelled. They are like, that is me. She is talking to me. She's creating know, like, and trust because it's so specific and related to me. Okay. Hope this is making sense. How do they feel about their future, right? What does the future look like for them? Is it bright? Is it doom? Are they just totally burnt out of where they are, right? So I want you to take some time to work through this. I would suggest, maybe not trying to do all of what I'm going through today at one time. I'm going to coach you this week to do it in like small bites. So spend some time on your story, maybe today, and then pick it back up and spend some time on your avatar tomorrow, okay? And then once you're done with that, we're going to dive into your personal brand and what you represent. So that's the third exercise this week. Now, when I say personal brand, I don't mean your product. I mean you. Who are you and what do you represent? Because these categories are what you're going to use to fill your feed. Now, it's going to be a little bit different than Facebook. A lot of you who come from, like, for instance, a nutrition and wellness company, you're really focused on your social media on Facebook and Instagram, where there's like a Wellness Wednesday and a Fitness Friday, or you name it. You have to keep in mind in your professional network, professional platform, you want relevancy. You want relevancy. This is a platform for business. This is a platform for networking and socializing on a professional platform. So you're not going to see as many Transformation Tuesday before and after photos. But what defines you professionally? I want you to find 3 to 5 categories of professional interests that define you. Again, if you get lost on this, go look at some people that you adore, follow their feed, see what they put out, ask yourself, why do I love it? And what can I gravitate towards to be some of my content too, right? So I'm going to give you guys some examples. For me, my personal brand, I'm going to give you my categories that I use. One of my personal brands is e-commerce. So I love making posts weekly about working from home, e-commerce, online business, anything compelling about that. It may be something I craft and create myself. It may be an article that I pull each week. It might be celebrating someone within my business of success, but it's all around e-commerce and education around e-commerce and where the country and the world is especially headed right now. A second category for me is mom boss. So, I really hone in and attract women who the struggle is real. They've got a big income, but they really want to be more present with their kids. And so that mom boss category feeds a lot of my content when I talk about my previous self, maybe the struggle of headed to the airport and crying because I miss my kids, or being in another state when my child's diagnosed with pneumonia and my mother has to take my child to the ER. Or maybe it's on a lighter note and it's my 2-year-old sitting in my lap while I'm doing a webinar and I talk about how amazing it is to run my business my way as a mom boss, right? So that's definitely one of my categories. I've been known to make a post where I've got a teddy bear in the front seat and I talk about how I'm so grateful for the freedom of being able to drop everything in my work morning and relay a forgotten teddy bear to a pajama party at the school, Another category of mine is really my personal brand with my network marketing company, which is health and wellness, along with financial freedom. So usually I run a webinar every week. So that's going to be a post each week. I'm going to run a post about functional medicine and financial freedom. And I'm going to be inviting people to come take a look. And in that post, I'm going to really try to speak to my avatar. I made a post this week about it, talking about, who's skeptically optimistic about what I have to offer, who's been watching and wants to learn more. Another category for me is entrepreneurship. So slightly different than e-commerce. E-commerce, I'm really focused on that remote work and selling things virtually online. But entrepreneurship is really casting a wide net to all small business owners. And so many times I'll talk about residual income versus leveraged income. I'll talk about I'll share articles that are relevant to entrepreneurs. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for and adding value to my network who's really honed in on wanting to be their own boss. And that's important because in my avatar, I want to attract people who want to do their own thing, right? And then another personal brand for me is my LinkedIn Bootcamp. It's a business that I run. So unlike my health and wellness company, I also run a LinkedIn Bootcamp. So you'll see me weekly put posts in there about LinkedIn and, talking about the value add from a perspective of growing your business through the power of LinkedIn. So again, it's in story mode. I'll talk about, have you ever felt XYZ? Have you ever felt burnt out, spinning your wheel on Facebook and Instagram, looking for the next business partner, right? It's that, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But my point is, I have some clearly defined brands. This is going to be homework assignment number 3 for you, right? You've brainstormed your story. You've brainstormed who you're trying to attract. Now you need to brainstorm, who are you, right? Who are you? What value do you provide? What can you put out there to begin defining yourself as a thought leader in that area? The cool thing is, it's totally up to you. That's what I love about social media. You can be a leader, a thought leader in anything. You can create it. It's a matter of how much you put content out there. I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, oh yeah, you're the LinkedIn expert. Did I get a degree in LinkedIn? No. Did I learn it, take a lot of courses, spend a lot of money on it, tried and true, and then start branding myself as the expert? Yeah. So the point is, the more active you are in claiming your expertise, the more known you're going to be for it. So that third homework assignment is to really put pen to paper, and I've got a guided worksheet for you, and think about what are the key 5 areas that define who you are, not necessarily your product, but who you are. And I'll again, for me, it's e-commerce, the mom boss thing, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, and LinkedIn Bootcamp. And you can see, it's a plethora of things that define me, right? You may have a really cool random thing that you're really curious and passionate and involved in that has nothing to do with the business that you sell. And that is A-okay. Maybe it is, maybe you're really involved in community service and you're a part of a community service organization, a foundation, right? That could be one of your one of your posts in your feed each week is a defining piece of you, because that helps people know, like, and trust you beyond the business you, right? So, so with that, I'm going to wrap up with your work for this week. I think we've got a lot to do, and we'll pull through pieces each part of the week. What I want you to really think about when you're putting together your brand, I want to give you some key words to think about as you begin thinking about crafting your first post. And that is, what if, right? So, well, let me take a step back. A lot of times we're really focused on talking about ourselves. You'll see it. We're all guilty of it. We're always talking about ourselves. But you're going to connect more with people online when they feel like you're talking to them. Okay, so I want you to write down a couple of taglines I learned from my good friend Julie Ciardi, and I love it. And that is, when you're making a post, consider using these types of words. What if? Have you ever? Right? What if? Or have you ever? So those are two just to think about. So what if, and then cast a vision of working from home, right? During the midst of the chaos of what we're going on with coronavirus right now. And if you watch this video months from now, you'll remember, right? What if you could not skip a beat in your income working from home right now? What if, right? Have you ever headed to the airport and been dreading your week away from your family? Okay. See how that connects to someone way more than, man, I sure am glad I'm home with my family and not traveling, right? People are like, oh, she's bragging. But if I say, what if you could work from home and get to your son's basketball game? Yeah, that speaks to people more, right? Okay, so couple things. In summary, I want you to work through your story. You're going to work through your avatar, and then you're going to work through your personal brand, okay? Once you work through your personal brand, you will have up to 5 categories to feed your content in LinkedIn. Once you have those 5 categories, what I want you to do to help get you started in those 5 personal branding categories is lean on your avatar that you've created. Lean on your personal story to feed your 5 marketing brands. Does that make sense? So for me, one of my marketing brands is e-commerce, right? So I can lean on the e-commerce piece when I think about my avatar who's at home right now because they can't make money and their company's consolidating because of the recent coronavirus. Or maybe I talk about e-commerce to my avatar who's the burnt out pharmacist in retail who just wants to be home right now. And I teach them how to get products that improve health and wellness at home from their computer, right? From a mom boss standpoint, again, that's my personal brand, but I can link it right back to my avatar, what she's struggling with, what keeps her awake at night, right? What is she stressed out about all day long, right? Bring that back in for my content, health and wellness, right? Go back to my avatar. My avatar is focused on health and wellness, or they need to get healthy, right? So I'm not afraid to talk about energy and how you show up at work and how being a part of a health and wellness company that creates residual income for myself has also created a healthier me, right? Help me show up better at work. I could go on and on about this. We'll do a lot of training and chatting about this week live on our Facebook page. But let's get started on your work this week. Looking forward to seeing what you guys put together.